Oh yeah, in this video I'm very excited. We're going to be going over some of your first exponent rules, and we're going to discover what happens when you multiply powers of the same bases. And there's a very neat rule that happens. So we'll discover that rule right here as we go through this pattern. Without further ado, let's check this out. So what I've got set up for you are 3 problems, each involving the multiplication of powers, where you'll notice you have the same bases. Here the bases are 2, here the bases are each 3, and here the bases are each x. We're going to go through each one and expand each one out using the rule of what an exponent is, the definition of it, and then seeing if we can come up with a pattern. So in this first one here, you have 2 squared times 2 cubed. Well, what does that mean? Well, 2 squared means multiply 2 by itself twice, so I'm going to write that out. So 2 times 2, that's a funky looking 2, but it's a 2. So that's 2 squared times 2 cubed. So now we're going to multiply 2 by itself 3 more times. 2 times 2 times 2. If you take a look at that, the question becomes, how many times has 2 been multiplied by itself? Well, you've multiplied 2 by itself twice right here, and then another 3 times right there, for a total of 2 multiplying by itself 5 times, or 2 to the 5th power. Interesting. All right, let's go on to the next one. 3 to the 4th times 3 squared. Well, this would be 3 times itself 4 times. So let's start with that. So that'd be 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. That's 3 times itself 4 times. And then we're going to multiply by another 2 more 3's, right? By that exponent. So that's times 3 times 3. So that right there is 3 to the 4th, and this right here is 3 to the 2nd, or 3 squared. How many times has 3 been multiplied by itself, you ask? Well, 4 times the 3 has been multiplied by itself, and another 2 times is a total of 6 times, or 3 to the 6th power. And you might be thinking, I think there's a pattern here. Let's keep going. So we've got x to the 5th times x squared. Oh no, variables! They're just numbers. We can rock this. So you got x to the 5th, right, which is x times x times x times x times x. So we're going to write that out. X times itself once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and 5 times. That's x to the 5th. And then we're multiplying by x squared, which would be x times itself 2 more times. So here's x to the 5th times x to the 2nd. So how many total times has x been multiplied by itself when we expand it out? Well, 5 times and another 2 times is a total of x to the 7th. It seems like what we're doing in each of these is we're adding powers, right? That's the pattern. Here we've done 2 to the 2 times plus 3 times, right? 2 plus 3. Here we did 4 plus 2, or 3 to the 4 plus 2. And here we did x to the 5 plus 2. And indeed, that's what we're doing. So the general rule we see from this pattern is that when we multiply powers with the same base, we keep the bases the same, and we just simply add the exponents. The reason why? You are literally grouping the number of, we'll go with the x's here, the number of x's, and then another however many number of x's, and then adding up the total number of exponents that you have. And that will give you your answer. And that's the pattern we've unearthed. Isn't that pretty cool? I think it's awesome. So what we can basically now do is skip right from here and go right to this mentally to get to our answer of 3 to the 6th. And I'll have a later video doing those exercises. So in general, our rule is if we have the same bases, b to the m times b to the n, you keep the base, and then you just simply add the exponents. The key here is that we have to have the same bases. Let me show you an example of when we don't have the same bases. Let's say that we have 2 to the 2nd times 3 to the 3rd. If we expand that out, that's going to be the same as 2 times 2, 2 squared, and then 3 times 3 times 3, 3 cubed. Well, how many 2's and how many 3's do we have? Well, at the end of the day, I don't have 5 6's, right? It's not 2 plus 3 and 2 times 3. Because what I have still is 2 2's being multiplied and 3 3's being multiplied. So the only way to simplify that, you'd actually just have to do 2 squared is 4 times 3 cubed is 27, and then multiply that out to get you 108. So the point being is there is no shortcut when the bases are different. All right, very cool stuff. We will see in later videos just how to rock problems without having to do all this why behind it. But I hope now that you've got a good foundation in what happens when we multiply powers with the same bases.